Okay. Say something, Jamin.
All right. So how's it working?
I think it's actually working here. Say something again.
Okay. Hopefully it's working still.
Say something again.
Okay. It's working.
Ah, thank God. Okay.
So it's working on YouTube now too?
It is working on YouTube. Okay.
Nice.
And now we are streaming with that. Let me just double check that that one is even working. Okay.
One of these days they'll make technology easy.
No, that'd make way too much sense.
I know.
It's just you do this one setting and then that didn't work, and then it causes this other issue that you didn't think about, and
Yep. Yep.
yeah, it's all crazy.
Yep.
It's all crazy.
Yep.
Okay, we are good to go then. It looks like.
All right.
Okay, the broadcast. Okay, my brain is not here, so let's see how this goes today. Okay.
Yeah, I'm operating on about 2 hours of sleep in the last 24 hours,
uh,
so we'll see how it goes.
I think I got too much sleep last night, probably. That's
Oh
probably.
yeah. I've always hated that.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Hold on. Where is that? Need to move that. Yeah. Sorry, I need to shift things around a bit.
Not a problem.
Hmm. Okay, if anybody's actually listening live, thank you for your patience. Truly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We are consummate professionals.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Exactly. So, okay, here we go. I will click the live button for the podcast.
And then it all crashes.
Hi. That's not good. Hey, it's doing it again.
What?
What?
What did it do?
It was coming through. Hold on. Yeah, it's coming through on my. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Let's try that. No, why is it doing? Yeah. Settings. Okay. Playback. Sorry, guys. Once again, having technical difficulties. Okay. 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 Here we go again. And a one, and a two.
Third time's the charm.
Ah, Jesus Christ, Jimmy, you stepped over it. And a one, and a two.
so I'm hearing dead air now.
Welcome
I'm
to
not
the
hearing
Mindless
anything.
Meanderings. It is Wednesday, September 18th it was supposed to be 11 a.m., but we're running a little bit late. I am your host, Jesse Freeze.
And I'm Jamin Freeze.
How you doing today, Jamin?
Not too bad. Not
Good.
too bad.
Good.
I enjoyed watching the Chiefs game on Sunday, so that was a good thing.
Okay. Did they win?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
won by field goal, if I
Oh,
remember
okay.
correctly.
Okay. I really don't pay
3
much
seconds left
attention.
in the game, they kicked a field goal.
Ah, nice. I don't pay much
Yep.
attention to that, but
Yeah.
I also know
You've never
K-State
really
won.
been that big into sports.
Yeah. I did listen. I watched the K-State game because that was on Fox, so that was nice.
Okay.
It was a good
Yep.
game.
Well,
Well, we won.
it's always good to see your alma mater win.
Exactly. So, what's going on with you today?
Uh, Not too much, not a whole lot. Just yeah,
Uh-huh.
found some interesting things, and one of them, I don't normally like cussing online, but I'm gonna read the headline for this one.
Uh-huh.
It's 5 rules to unfuck Congress.
Okay. What are these said 5 rules? Now you kind of got me interested to see what they actually think would actually unfuck Congress.
Well, the first one, he says this as if it's an absolute obvious, is term limits
Aye.
for the Congress and the Senate. I mean, I don't know how many people have been telling me that we need to have term limits there. Uh, I don't. I'm not quite sold on that yet.
No,
Um,
it doesn't change. The parties still are in control.
yeah,
It's like when I lived up in Michigan. One of the issues with because they have term limits for their Congress for
yeah,
their assembly, and one of the
yep,
issues with it is that you actually get rid of people that know the system. Every couple of
yes,
years,
absolutely.
people don't know the
Yeah,
system.
you've always got new people in there, so
Exactly.
you've so I mean there's a learning time. You have to learn how the system works, and then you can be effective within the system. If you get rid of everybody as soon as they learn how the system works, what the heck's the point of even having them there?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the way I look at it, though, I mean, term limits for a president make sense, because all the way back to when the country was founded, they always wanted to make sure that the person that was at the top was not a monarch or a king, or wasn't able to behave in the manner of one.
Uh, yes, but also no, actually.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know term limits didn't come till later,
And
but
actually, a lot of the founders and just people of the United States with George Washington, they just wanted
oh
him to
yeah,
stay
they
there till he
wanted
was
they
dead. So it
yeah,
was
I do remember, hearing about that. And but I loved his response to it, was that no, I mean, he actually knew that it wouldn't be good for the country for him to just always be in control.
no, yeah, exactly. So yeah, there is some of that in there, but that's why you have
Yeah,
elections every 4 years. That's really what they
yeah,
thought it would be, not necessarily the term limits, but
yep,
just the every 4 years you'd get to vote him in or out. So
yeah, absolutely. And then it wasn't until who was it? Was it? It was one of the Roosevelts, I
yeah,
think. Was it
Franklin,
FDR?
yeah, FDR.
Yeah, FDR. Yeah, he, after his third or fourth term,
Yep.
they decided to make it so you could only be in office for 2.
Yeah, which I actually find stupid. I don't see why that should be the case. I think we should be able to
Yeah,
pick whoever we want. Personally,
yeah.
that's
If somebody's doing a damn good job, wouldn't it be better to keep them in there rather than throw them out for somebody new?
no, exactly. Given that, Clinton might still be in office or Obama might still be in office. It's
Yep.
Bush. He was going down towards the end of his
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if
I
he could
don't
have hung
think
on for
Bush would
another
have
one.
gotten reelected. I
Yeah,
think there were a lot of conservatives that were starting to lean away from him.
yeah. He may have been able to though because he was the president. It is
Yeah.
it does help you if you are the incumbent. So no matter
Oh yeah,
what. So
absolutely.
yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the second rule that he had, which I kind of like this one.
Hmm.
The second rule that he came up with is Congress should be paid no more than the median wage of their state.
Okay.
So if they want a pay raise, they got to make it so that their state has more income,
Right.
so that their
Right.
state gets paid more.
Hmm.
And that in that way, they would at least be making sure that they're always working for the betterment of the people in the state.
I could see that. I could see that, but I'm not sure if that would really
Yeah,
help
there's problems with it,
because
but
no matter what, these people get into office, they're just normal Joes, and then they get in, and then all of a sudden they're millionaires.
yeah, yeah,
Because there's also other laws that Congress has written into the laws that where they can inside trade, they can do all sorts of
yeah,
things that
yeah.
it's illegal for
Oh yeah,
everybody else
yeah,
to do,
absolutely. Yeah,
and so they
they
can.
would absolutely have to get rid of that.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much in that. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to cut all of the outside influence spending that's done. You'd have to make it so that it was illegal for third party interests to, you know, provide those to buy houses for you and stuff for them and stuff like that.
mhm.
Um, they don't do it outright, but there's definitely deals made where the house gets built for a lot cheaper if you vote for the thing that they want, and
Right, right.
it's all just shady.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
So you'd have to really control a lot more than just how much they're paid, but at least that would be a decent starting point.
Possibly,
Possibly,
but they've
yeah.
always made more than average. Because I'm looking at
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm looking at how much they get paid and everything like that,
Hmm.
and it looks like it's 174,000 is what they get paid.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's probably higher than the median wages in most states.
right. In 1855, they were paid $3,000, which equals out to be $94,000 in 2023 dollars.
Okay. Yep.
So even back then, they were basically making like six figures. Um,
Yeah.
the only other time, yeah, and then sometimes it jumps up to like 200,000. Uh,
Hmm.
in 1984, they were making 72,000, which equals out to
Yeah.
be about 204,000.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah. So the third rule that he came up with is that no travel should be paid for by the government.
none.
In other words, none of their travel. He believes that if you're a senator or a representative from a state, you should stay in the state. You shouldn't be jetting back and forth from DC. He said we've got Zoom. You can vote online confidentially, all this stuff like that. So there's no need for them to be going back and forth from DC all the time.
No, no, no,
Yeah, no,
no.
no, no.
You need to be able to make deals and everything like that. That can only be, especially in politics, for Christ's sake. You can't be doing
Yeah,
that over a Zoom call. You
yeah,
need to
no.
be sitting there sipping a whiskey or something like that. Having
Absolutely. That's how the
it's
best deals are made. Throw a little
exactly.
bit of alcohol in there and you can work out a lot of stuff.
Exactly. Maybe that's a problem with Congress. Maybe they don't drink enough.
That
That might
could
be
be. That
it.
could be.
Yeah.
It might be. It might be.
We need to get them
Yeah,
sloshed every day.
he also thinks that none of them should ever go overseas on the government dime. Um, he's like, why do they need to go to foreign countries to talk to their politicians? They're not foreign dignitaries or anything like that. They're representatives of their state, so they should stay in their state.
I'm sorry. No, I find that stupid. No.
Well, I mean, considering that Congress is responsible for 99% of the trade deals that are done internationally. I mean, the Congress has to approve any trade deal
Right,
or
right.
anything like that happens overseas. What, are we going to ask all of them to come to us instead of us being willing to go to them? I mean, they
Yeah.
have to be able to go overseas.
Yeah, no, I find that asinine. No, no,
Yeah, yeah,
it's the whole travel thing. No, no,
yeah, yeah.
I just don't buy it.
Yep, yep.
Now, maybe not having the actual federal government pay for your travel, fine. Maybe have it like come from the state or something like that. I don't know because you're
Yeah,
representing
yeah.
the state or something like that. But you
Right.
do need to travel to the capital.
But even if
It's
yeah, if maybe the flights to the capital, you should have the state cover that because that is your responsibility to the state.
right,
But if you're going overseas to talk to foreign dignitaries about potential trade deals or things like that, that's all for the federal government. That's not for the state because no state can make any trade deals. It has to
right.
be the federal government.
Well, actually, states can make trade deals. They do all the time. Actually, they talk to businesses, they talk to governments.
Well, yeah, I know that they talk to businesses and governments, but they can't. Um, if I'm remembering correctly, it's the federal government that is completely in control of basically all commerce, except
No,
for within the state itself.
not yes and no. You need final approval from the Fed a lot of times, but you can
Okay.
actually go over and you can make your own deals. It's like I know governors. When I was up in Michigan, the governor, he was Snyder at the time, I think, but he actually went to China to get a trade deal going, and also like that's what these governors always do. They're always going to like China or Mexico or whatnot, trying to find new deals to actually bring home, open up communication, schmooze the elites of whatever company or this or that, trying to get like
Right,
a
and that makes sense for a governor to do that.
right,
It
right.
doesn't really make sense for someone from the House of Representatives in the federal government to do that type of thing, though. You know,
I think it
the
could.
government, the governor is all about bringing that dollar into their country,
Right, right.
into their state, whereas the representative and the senator,
Are trying
while
to bring
they
money into their
while they
state.
need to, well, the, they are, but they should be more concerned about the federal. You know, I yes, they
Eh,
need to make sure that they get reelected. So they've got to bring deals into their state.
see, I completely disagree. I think was that all his points? Because I have a point
No,
that
no, he had two more.
okay, I have a point that I want to bring up. See if he comes with it. So,
Okay.
so let's go on with that because otherwise I'd have to say what I want to say. But
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so the fourth rule that he came up with is that you should only have single issue bills. You should never have bills that cover more than one particular issue, such as, for example, the funding the Ukraine bill that they passed,
right.
but they tacked on support to the elderly to make it so that anybody that voted against that bill was voting against supporting the elderly and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
throwing on those little
I
bills that gotcha bill.
yeah yeah
Just
yeah. I think that actually works. I like that one. That
yeah,
point I do
yeah,
like because what the latest one for the IVF
yep,
that the Republicans shot down.
yep.
Apparently, in that it had like funding for IVF for transgender in
Oh
there.
God.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the Republicans would have to vote to give IVF to transgenders after they have after they're sterilized by going on the wrong hormones or whatnot,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of thing. And so we would have to fund it. And so because of that, the Republicans said no. But because of
Well,
that,
yeah.
the Democrats used
Now,
it. Schumer used it as a gotcha, saying,
yep,
"Oh, they don't like IVF. They want to get rid of
yep,
IVF."
yep.
All it was a gotcha bill, and everybody knows it.
Yeah,
That's in politics.
yeah, yeah.
The Democrats
There's just
didn't
way
actually
too much
want
of
it.
that crap that happens.
Exactly. Democrats didn't actually want that to go. It was purely political theater, was what it was.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, it's because the election's coming up, so
no,
they
exactly,
can get more
exactly,
people. They can get more people to support them because by saying, "Hey, you Republicans, you hate this," so
exactly, exactly.
we're the better people.
Yep, yep.
The fifth one that he came up, I think I really like this one.
Mm-hmm.
He said his fifth rule was that any time a congressperson or a representative speaks to the media or to the people in an official capacity,
Uh-huh.
they should be considered to be under oath so that if they tell a lie, they have perjured themselves.
That's just funny.
I know.
No, it wouldn't be possible.
I
Yeah,
know it wouldn't
it's
be, but wouldn't it be so nice if it was, if they could get in trouble for all the lies that they tell?
yes, but unfortunately, also that comes up with secrecy and everything like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah.
Top
Yep.
secret stuff and everything like that. And sometimes they do have to lie.
Yeah.
So it's not really it's an impossibility, unfortunately, on that
Yeah,
one. It's
unfortunately, yes.
yeah, yeah.
It'd be really nice, but yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of access to a lot of information that we don't need to know, and if they tell a lie to cover it up,
Yep, exactly, exactly. But then some people would argue,
sometimes you got to do that.
yeah, some people though would argue that there is no such thing as things we don't need to know, since we are in a democracy, as people like to say, even though we're not. We're in a republic.
No, we're
So,
not in. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
yep.
Okay. So my idea. So this is the one I've been kicking around. So on how to
Okay.
possibly fix just politics in general.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
If so, you can only influence, like give money to your own district. So basically, you would only be able to, if you say you're a millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to give money to somebody, you can only give it to wherever that jurisdiction is. So if it's your like a House of Representative, you can only give money to somebody that's actually running for representative in your own district. That's it.
Oh yeah.
If it's a state level, you can, like a senator, then you can give money for the whole state.
Right, and if it's for the president, then you can give money to the president.
Exactly, but
But
nobody from Wyoming can send money to Texas to fight
yeah,
for a senator or a representative,
I think I'd like that rule.
right?
It just makes so much sense.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes, some areas will be controlled by the powerful of that area, but isn't
Oh
that
yeah,
better than just being controlled by the powerful of the entire country?
yeah. I mean, I'd much rather have local people having an influence than somebody from an entirely different state.
Exactly.
I don't want somebody from California telling my politicians here in Kansas what to do.
Exactly. It's exactly the same laws on the federal level. Somebody from overseas cannot give money to our presidents and
Yeah.
everything like that
Yep.
for that. So it's just that same system, but
Yeah.
done on every little level, all the way
Yeah,
down.
that makes absolute sense.
Right?
That makes absolute sense. Yeah.
I think that would free up a lot of different things. I would think that would fix a lot of different problems, because then you would actually have people concentrating on what's affecting that area.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, there are some that even get into the state level politics. The governor and
Exactly.
there's no reason that there should be money coming in from outside of a state for anything internal in the state.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, it just
It's
I
none of their
really
damn
like
business.
that one.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, I
So
really
that's my
like that
idea.
one.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
Yeah,
kicking that
we
one
need to get
around.
that out there.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. I
Yeah.
It just makes sense to me, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But of course, that would piss off the parties. The parties wouldn't like that because then, what's the point of a party?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah. And our government is run by the parties. That's basically just who runs it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, you have a few outliers here and there,
Yeah.
like Rand
Well,
Paul and whatnot. But
not only just the parties, but also, the parties are always looking at the state level and the local level to find someone to bring up that they think would be good for the federal level.
mhm,
And so they're going to, if they find somebody that they like at a local level, they're going to go in and they're going to send them a whole bunch of money and
exactly.
get him up into the state level and then finally up into the Fed. So I mean, yeah, there's just too much control over everything, in my opinion.
I think so too. And then, I think if we do that, it'd be more like what we want it to be. You know,
Yeah.
we think that we should have a say, not just
Yep.
the party. It's like with a party, you have this whole thing. You can have groups and everything like that, but
Yeah.
when it's so just party, you have to toe the party line, no matter what. The party line, the party line, the party line, the party
Yep.
line. This
Yep.
creates politicians that are just sycophants to the party. One guy in
Oh
the
yeah.
party comes
Yeah.
up with this idea, and then they hang on to that one for the rest of their life,
Yep.
and it,
Yep.
it's a stupid system. Is how our system is. I really think
Oh yeah.
my idea might actually do something about it.
And very
It's
well could. Yeah. Yeah.
well, yeah. I've been
Yeah.
kicking that
I
one.
like that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got here? Um, Looks like Trudeau up in Canada is having some issues. He lost a
Oh really? What's going on up there?
he lost a by-election in Montreal. It was a
Okay.
very heavily liberal seat that was always liberal,
Yeah.
but he lost it. They lost it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but he's like,
I was hoping sooner or later that they'd get a clue up there.
yeah, no, they really have. They really have. He hasn't gotten a clue yet.
Well, of
Everybody's,
course not.
many people are actually asking him to step aside, even within his own party, within the Liberal
Yep.
Party. But he is like going, what? I don't know. No, not. It's all good. You guys don't know. You just don't know. And this is what he's been saying.
Just wait till his next debate, and then they'll start whispering in his ear that maybe it's time to go.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
And it worked with Biden, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. And apparently, the Liberals have trailed the Conservative Party nationally by a wide
Oh,
margin for
okay.
the past year. So,
Wow.
yeah, he's holding on, trying to hold on as long as he can, probably until he's actually forced by whatever governmental constitution they have to actually hold
Right.
an election. I don't know how their system works because they can call an election right away or not. It's weird. So
Okay.
parliaments are weird. It's not set up.
That they are. Yes. Yes.
Ours, I like the defined 2 years, 4 years,
Yeah.
6 years, and
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah, I like that process
Yeah.
of ours. But yeah,
Absolutely.
so he's kind of in trouble. Hopefully, they can do something about him.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Sweden has always been one of those countries that that we're always told that we need to follow their example, and with their humanitarian stuff with immigration and all that other stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, I ran across a news article here. Sweden now plans to boost payments up to 34,000 to migrants to leave the nation and go back home. They're going to pay people $34,000 US,
Uh-huh.
350,000 Swedish kronars,
Okay.
to go back home if they're there illegally.
I sounds pretty sweet to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, one of the concerns that I might have with that is how many people are going to go there illegally now just to get that 34,000 and then go back home.
Yeah, hopefully they have some stipulation in the law stating
Yeah,
a time
hopefully.
limit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 35. They're increasing it by 35 times. It used to be right now, currently, that's going to take effect in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they can receive up to 10,000 kronar per adult and 5,000 kronar for per family, with a cap of 40,000 kronar, and they're bumping that up to 350,000 in 2026.
Nice, nice, nice.
In 23
Uh-huh.
in 2023, they had one person take that deal and go back home.
Huh. Only one?
Yep, one person.
Well, I can take the 34,000, or I can stay here and make more than that. Just
Yep,
sitting on my butt
exactly.
and
Yeah.
living off the dole. Yeah, it's
Yep. Yep.
yeah, weird. It makes sense though. They have to do
It
something.
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's gotten out of control.
it really has. It really has. Apparently, Germany is moving in the other way though.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they just signed a deal with Kenya to now the numbers are kind of apparently from my brother-in-law the numbers aren't fully vested, but the news story I saw was that Germany has allowed to bring in 250,000 Kenyans of skilled and semi-skilled workers into Germany to try to prop up their economy. So
Okay. Fine. I don't see a problem with that because that's legal immigration,
no,
and I've
yes.
never had a problem with legal immigration.
Well, the Germans do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
the
sent
the
that story.
Germans have always had a problem with anyone that's not them.
Yeah, no kidding. I sent that to my brother-in-law, and he he was like going, "I'm not going to Germany." He goes, "There are a bunch of racists over
Yep.
there."
Yep.
Uh,
Absolutely.
so yeah, and he said he'd probably have to work harder there than he does in Kenya. So he's not willing to do that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely understand that.
yeah, yeah, Germans work. That's one thing they do. It's
Yep.
but yeah, that's kind
That
of
they
funny.
do. Yeah, it is.
Let's see
Uh,
here. Another thing. Oh, it looks like there's a study that said that keto diets are bad for you. But then when you get like down into it and you like
yeah.
compensate for like weight and everything like that,
Yeah.
it's no different than not keto. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It was this whole study that it went on and on and on, saying about how bad keto is. It can cause higher rates of diabetes and everything like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, 20% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Compel,
How
com-
can you develop more? How can you possibly be more likely to develop diabetes when diabetes is glucose in the blood, which is something that's from carbohydrates, which you don't eat on keto?
well, this was from the thing. It says eating high foods and saturated fats can lead to weight gain, but we know they also lead to insulin resistance, which is one of the causes of type 2 diabetes, independently of weight gain. But when they did actually controlled it out, did a control, it was basically no difference than just regular population. So yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. It's like this a huge
Is
story,
that
and
a
then it
recent
means nothing.
study?
What was that?
Is that a recent study?
Yeah, yeah, it just came out. Yep.
Because most of that's been debunked like 10, 15 years ago now.
Right, right. Yeah, no, it was a new study that came out. I don't know why. Yeah, it's
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, yeah. It's called Diabetes and Metabolic Syndrome: Clinical Research and Reviews. So Or that's the journal that it's
Yeah,
in. So
yeah, yeah. Well, anytime you deal with the metabolism, people are different. So, there may be somebody that was negatively affected by it. Somebody may have had a better chance of getting diabetes because they were on keto, but the likelihood of it is insanely low, I would think.
Eh, no clue. No clue. I just find it
Yeah.
funny. You read a
Yeah.
headline and then you're going, wait a minute, what was in here actually didn't say that, but okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of how most studies are done.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you very rarely actually they. I've read so many studies that claim to have proven one thing, and sometimes they even prove the exact opposite.
Sometimes. And then also it's been proven that studies really aren't good because there's so much plagiarism. They just make up facts.
Oh
They
yeah,
just add new data here or there. It's like we can't even believe the studies. So it's like if you hear a
yeah,
study, just like go, yeah, whatever.
yep, yeah. Well, I've heard of a few um, where they just it was with food related studies. I've read a few where not only did they not only did they well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not only did they fudge the numbers a little bit,
Hmm.
but they also just completely left out a lot of the stuff that these people had been eating.
Right, right.
I mean, yeah, no, it just there's you can't trust studies. You just can't.
A lot of times you really can't. You really can't.
No.
Yeah, it's like one person has this one idea and then they do a study on it, and it's just a stupid idea. So it's like,
Well, yeah, and the problem with most studies is that they go into it with the idea of I am going to find this result, and so they'll fudge what they need to get that result.
yep. No. Well, it's like this
And
other
that's
study.
just not scientific study.
There's this other study that I ran across. It's it was about bird migration,
Yeah.
and basically they wanted to know why birds migrate, and so they were able to put like heartbeat sensors on birds, blackbirds in Germany,
Okay. Yeah.
and some migrated to the south towards the Mediterranean, and then others just stayed in Germany. And so they
Hmm.
looked at it, and they're going, it makes no sense why they migrated. They go about like how much energy they actually used up, basically
Right.
saying that their idea was that birds migrate because it takes more energy to stay in the cold than it does to live in the South. And so this was their idea. It's about all about energy. Okay.
Hmm. I'm
But
always thought it was all about food.
that's what I that was my
When,
exact
when the
thought.
snow when the snow covers up all the food, they got to move somewhere else where there's no snow. I mean, you know.
That was my exact thought. It's like I thought it was all about food, so they don't have to hunt for
Yeah.
food. They can just easily get the food off the tree instead of going through the snow. You know,
Yeah, and with waterfowl, it's about open water.
yeah, exactly.
When the lake freezes over, they can't exactly dive to eat off of to eat the weeds on on the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, yeah. So these people apparently, his name was Scott Yanko, whatever it is, animal
Hmm.
ecologist at the University of Michigan.
Okay.
But he conducted the
Uh,
research while he was at Yale. So, but he's stupid. Come on, it's about food.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. It's all about food and housing, basically.
Yeah, it's he said in his because he got stuck on this idea of energy, right?
Yeah.
And so apparently throughout this, he was saying that in the cold, yeah, it had they use more energy to stay warm and everything like that. But the birds that migrate, they have to use that same energy, but in the migration to fly that thousands of miles, 500 miles or whatnot. they have to save up energy to fly that 500 miles, and so in the end, it's a net zero basically versus the birds that stay. It's like it's about food, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
just
know,
don't.
the birds that stay, it's because they have a local food source.
Right,
They
exactly.
don't have to worry about not having food.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'd be moving too.
This is like one guy gets stuck on something and then does a study on it, Well,
Yep,
he
yep.
probably just needed money to justify his job, anyways, and you always have to do a study. But
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
general, this was yeah, it makes no sense. It's about food, guys. Just saying.
Yep, yep. It's always about food.
Exactly.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah. So did you hear about what the can't remember his name. Um one of the a police officer down in Florida. Um he had gone into school and told people that he had a kill list and showed pictures of guns and knives and swords and stuff like that.
The police officer
Basically, it
did?
was no, a kid did, an
Oh,
11-year
okay,
old
okay,
kid.
okay.
And I'm looking at the picture at the weapons that the police confiscated from his house.
Uh-huh.
The guns, they all have red nozzles. They all have red muzzles, which means
Interesting.
that they're fake.
Right, right,
They're
right,
air.
right.
All of these guns are airsoft guns or something, or
Water
something
guns, or
similar.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Interattack, or what was that?
yeah.
The name of those water guns back in the 80s?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't have the red thing on the front at first, and so some kids were getting
Yep,
killed by cops,
yep,
and so they
yep,
had to ban them. Yeah, yeah.
yep. Yeah, and the pictures of the knives and the swords.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people on X that are saying, how did this 11-year-old get that kind of an arsenal? And I'm telling you, these knives and swords that I'm seeing on this thing,
Uh-huh.
these are somewhat expensive collective type swords. I'm betting that they weren't the kids.
Ah, okay.
I'm betting one of his parents was a collector of blades.
Right, right, right. Wouldn't doubt
But
it.
the police go in and they're going to confiscate everything. Of
Right,
course,
right,
they're going to
right.
take anything that's a weapon out of the house. So, but I mean, these people are talking about this arsenal that this kid built up, and they're, how could the parents buy these kinds of guns for their kids?
Right.
I'm like, they're fake guns that can't hurt anyone. So why shouldn't they buy them for their kids?
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I haven't heard about
But
that
anyway,
story.
the part of the story that I found that I absolutely love, and why I was trying to remember the name of the officer, that the sheriff that was doing this,
Uh-huh.
is he on Saturday, I think it was, he went out and did a press conference saying that basically that parents, if you're not going to parent your children and prevent them from doing this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I will parent them for you.
Uh-huh.
When we arrest one of these kids, we are going to put their pictures up in a public place. We are going to, if we can, we are going to perp walk them in front of the media.
Uh-huh.
That way you get embarrassed as well.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
It's really, this was a sheriff down in Florida. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't like the concept of putting images of children out there very often.
Right, right.
Personally, especially not in that context, but at the same time, if they're going around talking about having a kill list and showing pictures of what could be actual guns and stuff like that,
Well, yeah.
I'm
You
I kind of think that their picture needs to be out there so that everybody can be watching out for them.
Well, it's a threat, so threats can be.
Yeah.
You can go to jail for threats. So yeah,
Yep.
yep, yeah. It's something's got to be done. I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. uh, let's see here. So, do you know who Larry Ellison is?
I've heard the name, but no, I don't. Can't.
Okay,
No, off the top of my head, I can't remember.
he's like the CEO of Oracle, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had this little meeting with the shareholders and everything like that, and he said some things that is causing quite a stir.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is one of the things he said. I have some audio here, so let's see what he's saying. I have a few clips from him.
If you're playing the clip, I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Let me know. Let's see.
More technical difficulties. Gotta love it.
Exactly. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. I think I might. Okay, let's try that again. Let me know if you can hear it.
Yep, I can hear it.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think about that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
mean, I like the concept of not being able to turn it off because, I mean, a lot of stuff happens when the body camera is not turned on sometimes.
really?
Um,
Okay.
sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Um, the everything else though, I mean, I don't know. I I don't like the concept of it going through Oracle
Uh-huh.
because that's just another step in the chain where something can happen to the video.
Right.
I mean, with video editing technology out there, they could absolutely make it so that it showed something that wasn't there originally or something, and
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be hard.
Oh, sorry about that.
Not a problem. Um, but I mean, all in all, I don't. I kind of like it. I mean, the cheap aspect of it would be awesome. You know, I don't see much need to spend thousands of dollars on a camera when
Well, yeah.
you can buy some for much cheaper.
The cheap does work.
Yeah. Not really sure about the rest of it though.
It is a bit odd.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is.
That's very odd. But my, let's see here. I'm still having some technical difficulties here. Hold on, guys.
Okay.
Sorry. Let me try. Let me try this one. I'm gonna try. Yeah, no, that's coming through to you though.
Yep.
Okay, let me. Okay, I'm gonna test something here.
We'll make technology easy.
No, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna test this, but it's like I can't hear it, so which is odd.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, not at all. So I had forgotten exactly what he had said. What's the external? Sorry, guys, once again.
Oh, well, you're futzing with that. Should I go into the next one?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Yeah, so I ran across a thing at the White House press briefing.
Uh huh.
I found very amusing. So Peter Dosey from Fox News, I guess that prior to this press secretary Jean Pierre must have been talking about Trump being a threat in some way again.
Right.
So he comes in and he says, "Okay, so it's been 2 days since someone allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again."
Mm-hmm.
And you're here at the podium of the White House briefing room calling him a threat.
Right.
How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president, vice president, and you pick a different word to describe Donald Trump other than threat?
Mm-hmm.
Her
Yeah.
response, her response to this is just so amusing.
Mm-hmm.
What her response was is, Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question. The question that you're asking, it is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it because the American people are watching.
Wow, she said
So his,
gobbledygook.
so him, so his asking this question, why are you still calling Donald Trump a threat when you know that there's people that are listening to that and potentially thinking about taking a shot at him, and yet asking that question is dangerous because the American people are watching?
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah,
I mean, wow, I can't wrap my head around that one.
that is a bit odd. It really is. It is quite odd.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we need to actually pause here so I can try to fix this real
Okay.
quick. So I will pause the live stream and everything like that for right now. Here. Let's see.
Okay.